All right, it's been a while, guys, but back. So today, the latest update dropped for Pocket Pennant Run. So if you're on the mailing list, make sure you download the full version and pay attention to your emails. So you want to make sure that you download the latest version, which ends in underbar 04. Craig doing a hot fix for bringing in relievers and stuff. So it's not going to be a very long stream. Probably just run through how you play the game. But and then for those of you that have it, you'll see some of the some changes. There's big changes coming up down the road. Don't know when. The ability to create different leagues and stuff like that. But anyhow, this is Pocket Pennant Run. So this is a software that accompanies when you buy Pocket Pennant Run, either the physical game or the PDF version. You also get access to this the Pocket Pennant Run Manager. And the Pocket Pennant Run Manager allows you to do a lot of things. Mainly, one of the cool things about it is you can play the entire game right on this software. It does a lot of other stuff too. Team managements. You can bring in teams. You can select. You can print team cards. You can print entire season cards. StatFacts is kind of a way to just do some sort of quick research, if you will. Game sim is kind of a thing where you can set up a game, decide when the opposing manager might bring in relievers or what have you. Box score replay has to do with playing, doing a season replay, and we'll be concentrate on that. And quick play. Quick play allows you to pick two teams in this absolutely huge database, play them against one another. Then you have, of course, game day replay, and this has to do with loading in, using the teams that you've created in team management. So basically, it's pointing, clicking, selecting plays. You can choose to use this software as much or as little as you want with the main game. If you just want to use this to print up box scores, and we'll show you how nice they look. And roll the physical dice, and you want to keep score on that score sheet and all that stuff. You can play as strictly as cards and dice, all the way up to a digital type of baseball game. There's not an AI. It is a cards and dice game. I did mention that in Game Sim, you can set up conditions when relief pitchers would be brought in and things like that. But that's really the extent of it. But don't sell the game short. If you play APA, you play Strat, you play History Maker, any sort of cards and dice baseball, you're going to be at home with this one. What I like about it, though, as a person with two cats and not a lot of room to set up games with large footprints, and again, I should say that just on the 10, this really is, if you play the full cards and dice version, the game comes in a box that literally fits in the palm of your hand. If you want to go the extras and pick up the play mats, both for modern era baseball and then 19th century dead ball baseball, you certainly can do that, and use player cards, whatever. It still doesn't take up as large of a footprint as games such as Status Pro come to mind, or quite a few of the other classics. Or you can play the entire game here. So that's what we're going to do. Some of the complaints that people had before about the game was how hard substitutions were to do. That has been fixed rather nicely. There are still some things that aren't automated, but bringing in pinch hitters or what have you, or pinch runners, you can finally bring in pinch runners, which is something you should be able to do in any baseball sim anyhow. So you have that. Gone are the way where you have to change sides. Craig got rid of that. I played a few games, and so this is a it's kind of a significant update in certain ways, especially doing the substitutions. But also, I'm just really excited for when Create Your Own League can come along, and the schedule editor, and that's not in this update. But again, if you do have this game, make sure that and it's the full download. There's no patch to it. Make sure that you do a download of It'll be 3.52. There's a bunch of numbers, but then underbar 0.4. If you do 0.3, you will not have the whole game. So let's run through a couple things here. Again, this is for people that are both new to the game and have it for a while. So I'm going to run over some ground here that those of you who have game, you've seen it before, but this is YouTube. And even though I've been doing a lot of streaming lately, hopefully as I continue or I get back into that, and hopefully more people will see these videos, because I really love this game. You guys know I play a lot of digital baseball sims. You know, baseball is the only sport I follow. I've got tons of baseball books. I'm always, geeking out on baseball stuff and whatever. So this really, really gets my stamp of approval. And I will get yours. Okay, so team management. I mainly want to look at that because I want you to get just kind of a sense of what you can do. Now, so you can see we don't have any teams yet to load. So because this is the newest version. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to add a team. And we're going to add a team from the database. And the reason that I'm showing you this is because I want to show you how large this database is. It's about 316,000 players. So roughly the population of the cities of Pittsburgh or St. Louis. All right. So what do you get? And again, the PDF, I haven't looked at the prices now, but this game is super, super inexpensive. There's no other cards and dice game that I can think of that gives you so much for really so little. So modern era baseball here. The only quibble I have, not a knock on the game, is actually modern baseball began in 1893, but I can see why Craig and Matt, decided to make this delineation, 1920 being the first year of live ball as opposed to dead ball. Anyhow, so you get MLB 1920 to 2023. You get the historical Major League Baseball from 1871 to 1919. So going all the way back to the National Association. Negro League Baseball, 1920 to 1948. The only other product out there that gives you the entire Negro Leagues is out of the park baseball. AAA minors, you get the years 2000 to 2023. Hopefully that will get expanded. You get 1 year of NCAA college baseball. If you're into Japanese baseball, you get the Nippon Professional Baseball League, and that's from 1950 to 2023. And then you get, of course, the Korean Baseball Association, 2001 to 2023, and the only game that has the All-American Girls Professional Baseball League from 1943 to 1954. So if you watched A League of Their Own and you fancy yourself being Jimmy Dugan managing Dottie Hinson and all the others, you can certainly play there too. All right. So we're going to go ahead and just pick a team, and we'll do, 1971. Why not? And we are going to just select the Pittsburgh Pirates. All right. Again, we haven't even gotten into the actual gameplay, so we're just going to add this. Okay, so team was successfully added. Okay, so now at this point, I can go here, and you can see there's a 1971 Pittsburgh Pirates, and I can load them, and they're loading now from the database. And so if you play Pocket Pennant Run 2 or what have you, you see all these all the ratings are in here for. So these are for hitters. These are their batting rating, power rating, speed rating, defense rating, and then of course you will see the same thing for pitchers. Okay, and if we go over here to pitchers, we will see their handedness, fatigue rating, their pitch rating, and this has to do with in game, and I'll show you that. Their control rating and their defense rating, and also their role whether they're starting a relief pitcher. Okay. And then we have what's really nice in this is a lot of games just kind of have a generic sort of pitcher's card. Hey, Aaron, have a lot of just a generic kind of batter's card. This doesn't. So when you have good hitting pitchers, and you're playing, if you're doing a season replay or you're doing a league, what have you, you'd like to have a pretty decent hitting pitcher, right? And so this isn't just a generic batters or generic pitchers. Each one of them is rated. So even at this point, so if you wanted, like Dave Gardner has done, and you wanted to just input just these ratings into something like Digital Diamond Baseball, there they are. You can do it. But this game goes a lot further than that. Okay. So what it does, it really creates these really nice cards, I think. So print selected player team cards. We'll go to these, and we're going to create these player cards for the 1971 Pittsburgh Pirates. I don't know if it's I guess it's going to make me do a league name, so we'll just call it Test. Okay. And we're going to print all the players. Okay. So you can see something very different than just these letter ratings. And again, this game was very fun just when you had these ratings and played pretty well. Okay. Do I want to include the batting cards for pitchers? Yes, I do. Okay. And save to your game sheets folder. Okay. Now, that should be okay. Player cards are successfully created. The PDF is in your game sheets folder. So for those of you that want to roll the dice, let's go into our file manager here. Let's go to desktop. And let's go to the proper folder. All right, there we go. Pennant run. And this update is called, or this new version is called Helix. Codename Helix. And then you're always going to find your stuff in your game sheets folder. Okay, so there we go. Now, you can do this for as many teams as you want. Let me enlarge these. So you can see now that we're well beyond just those letter ratings. And of course, down here, you get their stats for the season. Again, and I don't think it's going to happen. I've talked about this in a couple videos. Curiously, no triples. I don't know why, but no triples. I mean, you can have triples in the game, but they usually happen when you're trying to stretch a hit. So there's usually not a triple so much as just a hit, but they do happen. But them being probably next to the inside the park home run. I mean, you know, they're the least common hit in baseball, so it's not a big deal. But you know, I think the cards are nice. And just like any game, you know, you print these out on, you know, whatever kind of stock you want. There you go. So a nice bit of thing here is the color coding that you see. So in yellow, you're going to see batting and left, right. That will correspond with the yellow die. What you'll see, the blue die takes care of power, speed, defense, park factors, all that. So these are very simple. So let's say Jackie Hernandez is up, and the yellow die roll shows a 9 on the batter card. If you're playing the cards and dice, you would go here to get your play result, and this is a single. Now, if there's a runner on, then it could be a grounder to third, and that asterisk means that the runner on first, or a grounder to first, but the runner at first advances 1 base. Okay, pretty easy. The rule book for this is literally a PDF sheet, and it covers everything you need to know. So here we have, there are 48 possibilities for each hitter. And maybe compared to some other games, that's not going to seem like a lot, but I think that the game does cover all the necessary ground that you need. And again, you can see if we just look at Roberto Clemente's card versus Al Oliver versus Richie Zisk. I mean, these are all different. We see Zisk has a decent amount of power, as does Al Oliver. If you look in this power rating, we look here at their speed, all that kind of stuff. So you can print out entire season's worth of cards. Now let's get to pitchers. Again, that same coding, and of course I should mention here, I forgot about the cards also give you the batter's rating overall, his power, his speed, his defense. So you have that all along the top, plus his handedness and his position. Now we get to pitchers. We get the same thing here. We see this Steve Blass, right-handed starting pitcher. His fatigue rating is a 7. He's a pitcher. He's a B, control B, defense D. Again, so let's say something simple, just something very simple. You roll 1 on the red die. Everything starts with the red die, and you'll see that when we play a couple innings of a game. You can see that Steve Blass has issued a strikeout. Let's say that a control roll of a 6. Well, then you just go to the control column, and this DK means a drop third strike. Okay. And again, stats. And the color coding is really, really, really nice. This was something you didn't have in Pocket Pennant Run 2. All you had basically were just, the players' ratings, the ABCD ratings, and then you would go off the cards. The new version with the cards that come with it, if you buy the physical game, will have, they're kind of like a double, if you take 2 poker-sized cards and put them next to one another. So the game still literally, and I'm holding 2 poker-sized decks in my hand. You can't see that, but literally still fits in the palm of your hand. So it's not a big box, but it is a big baseball game in its own right. Okay. And then it prints out, there's some extra cards too. This does, so unlike Stratomatic, I'm looking at you where you have to pay for outliers. When you paid this one low price for everything. In fact, while I'm talking about it right now, let's go. I'm just going to go to the Pocket Pennant Run site, let you guys know just how much the game costs. It's so cool. So yeah, 300. Let's go through some stats. I'm going to bring this over to you so you can read them along with me. How's that? All right. Helps me to see the chat better too. All right. So this right here, I mean, this is, you can see this is to scale. There are the 3 dice. This game, this is the size, but don't let that fool you. Okay. So if you buy the physical game, you get 3 colored 12-sided dice. Red, yellow, blue. You get 4 double-sided jumbo charred cards, modern era on one side, deadball era on the other. 6 double-sided jumbo roster cards, including 12 teams that make up the Great American Teams roster card set. 1 double-sided jumbo fictional franchise generator card. I'm not going to get into that because I don't play any fictional baseball. I'm sure it's a lot of fun. A double-sided jumbo quick reference card, the manager's handbook, and license to download what you're looking at, the PPR manager, with free updates forever. So what comes with it? Database with over 316,000 players, 222,000 game schedules, and 196,000 games with as-played lineups. So if you didn't feel like using Baseball Reference or anything else, you could even use this with a companion game, like with Appa, with Strat, or whatever, and you would have these as-played lineups. Let the Pocket Pennant Run manager print your scorecard for you, or you could just write it down if you're using your own scorecards, or you're using any of a million apps out there that allow you to create, whether it's on Excel, Green Fox, whatever, then you're good to go. In here, it has a pre-filled score sheet generator, which it makes a really nice score sheet, really does. You can do roster card and Excel sheet generator, custom team lineup creator, game simulator, default modern, Excel stat import, historical replays, and pre-filled score sheet with as-played lineups. So I know most of this community just does season replays, and a lot of guys want the as-played lineups. All the work's done for you. You don't even have to go into Baseball Reference. I love Baseball Reference, but you don't have to. They're right here. Okay, AI coach makes strategic decisions during game simulations. Not it sort of. It will make strategic decisions during game simulations if you set up game sim when you want to bring in relief pitchers and that. But this, I think, should be worded a little bit better. It's not the same thing as an AI that you're going to find in Action PC Baseball, Out of the Park Baseball, Baseball for Windows or Diamond Mind, or Old Time Baseball. This is really a cards and dice game, which is fine. So there's individual player cards generator. We've already gone through the databases that are involved. Okay. So let's go to, if you want the base game set, redirecting us to, it's called Game Crafter. So all of that, right? You get the physical game and access to this superb software, which you don't need to be online to run, and free updates forever. $25. $25. Now, before I decided to just, I mostly play this digitally on here, as I'm going to show you, but can also get these nice mats here. So if you're playing, say, dead ball, baseball, whatever, this play mat, then here's your rare play charts for base running plays, power control, batter, pitcher, all this kind of stuff. And then you can just put the cards right on top. There's a corresponding one, too, for the modern era. So, and then you can also pick up scorebooks. I bought the game, the physical game, and these two mats. But when you're playing with the Pocket Pennant Run software, you don't need it. Now, if you just want to do the print and play PDF, if you want to do that, okay, $15. It's $15. That's it. All right. And again, you still get access to this amazing software. So where are you going to get a really fully fleshed out, nice baseball game that has just a ton of options? It's right there. Okay, let's go ahead and close this. The next thing, we've already shown you how to do, like you can print season cards and stuff like this. So if you wanted to just play, let's say you wanted to do a season replay. All right, again, we're going to pick 1920. This time we'll pick, since Aaron is the only one here, at least, well, he's not the only one watching, but the only one here. We can print season team cards, print season player cards. So if I want to do player cards, we'll just let this fill up. Do I want to include batting cards to the pitcher? It's 1990. Absolutely. I'm still going to. I hate the DH. And remember, everything is saved to your game sheets folder. So really important to remember that. You'll be like, where the hell is this? Where the hell is that? And I would also strongly suggest that you do the default installation just right to your desktop. This is not a huge program. I think it's a 250 meg zip file. And these really don't take up a lot of space. While we're letting this go, we'll talk a little bit more about the game itself. I think that the intransigence of the kind of long-time, old-time baseball games, APA and Strat, perhaps unwittingly, has created this sort of this ecosystem where these new games are popping up like that. So even before this, games that gave you everything were games like WH Hacker's Dead Ball Baseball, which you can get back to basics baseball is out there. All kinds of stuff. Again, to quote the developer, Mark Cohen of Digital Diamond Baseball, said the data are out there, why charge for seasons? And I think more and more game developers are picking this up. So, are these guys going to be able to make a living from this? I wish they could. Craig Harrison, Matt McKeever, I wish they could. I hope they will. I know that there's in excess of 700 and I don't know. I think they're up around 750 members of the Facebook group now. Not bad for a baseball game at all. Very, very niche gaming type of thing. Okay. All right. So we're done with that, and they're in our game sheets folder. So we're going to look at 1990. Let's close this. Let's bring this back up. And let's just go back and so you guys can see this. Why I'm going through such detail is, again, I don't know, as people catch these later. I don't like to do recorded videos anymore. I always like to do everything live, and people will catch these later. So again, we go into game sheets here. There we go. Here's 1990 cards, and if I open them, this is every player that, and again, I'm not going to look any different, but everybody that played In 1990, these are already split up by teams. And then whatever you use to if you want to print these out, you're ready to go. Every player card is different. So for those of you that play Pocket Pennant Run 2, this is literally a whole new ball game. The basics are the same as far as everything off the 3 dice, but that is it. So everybody is here. And no, you don't have to pay for Strat makes you pay for outlier players or players that weren't, that were maybe on the fringe. Not this game. They're all here. They're all here. And if you're the kind of guy that likes to print and play, again, this works with the PDF version. This is the physical version. You get everything, all of Major League Baseball history, and free updates forever, which means that you'll be able to, in an update, right at the end of the season, you'll have the 2024 baseball season, and so on and so on and so on. What I'm looking forward, again, down the line, and Craig hasn't, I know it's going to be a lot of work, is creating, pardon the people downstairs, they have dogs. Anyhow, that there's going to be, you're going to be able to create your own leagues. And I'm really looking forward to that because I think this would be really fun for a McGreevy league or a Fields of Dreams league or, a type of draft league that you want. But my God, even if not, there's enough here to keep you busy, as you can see. All right, so let's go ahead and let's minimize this. I don't think we're going to go back to it. So the next thing we're going to go to is StatFacts. So StatFacts is really a way for you to kind of do some baseball research without, again, maybe you don't want the same depth that you're going to get in Baseball Reference. And this isn't meant to be a replacement for Baseball Reference or, if you're, and also, if you're a book guy like me too, not a replacement for, Total Baseball or, the greatly expanded Macmillan Encyclopedia or more specialized encyclopedias like the Encyclopedia of Negro League Baseball or anything like that. But maybe, you want to just do some research. So we have 1920 to 2023 picked up here. So let's, we're going to start typing a player's name. And then we got Lou Gehrig and Charlie Gehringer. We'll look at Lou Gehrig. Look at Gehrig. Make sure you have this selected or nothing's going to come up. All right. So then we're going to come down here and just search stats. And here's Lou Gehrig's entire career. There it is. Okay. Again, just if you want it, you can look at players. If you don't want to look at players, other ways you can do, you can find a team. And we're going to set this back to historical MLB. And we are going to look at the 1907 Detroit Tigers. So let's pick the Detroit Tigers. Make sure, again, to have this little bullet point marked. I've messed that up sometimes. So here you go. This is the entire 1907 Tigers team. Maybe you want to, again, for whatever research that you might want to do, go for it. Go for it. Again, Craig, I don't know if it's possible, but it would be, especially when these old-time teams, it would be really nice to have triples. But that's okay. Still excellent, excellent stuff. These are not sortable. I would be nice if these could be sortable. This is programmed in Python. I don't know how far you can go with Python, but still, think about this, man. I mean, I'm doing this all within the software, and that's the beauty of it. That is the beauty of this thing. Okay, let's go ahead and close this. So you can search by player, you can search by team, or you can find players by stats. And I'm going to switch this back to MLB 1920 to 23. Okay, so maybe I want to do, let's see, by team selection, and let's pick the Boston Red Sox. Okay, so we've got the Red Sox. We want to sort batters by home runs. Okay, and let's say, I don't know, we're just going to do the top 10. Let's just make it simple. Okay, So it's going to crunch, crunch, crunch for a little bit. Because I've done minimum required 1. It's going to take a while. There we go. All right. So here are the top 10 seasonal home run leaders for the Boston Red Sox from 1920 to 2023. So there's David Ortiz in 2006. Jimmy Fox with 50 home runs in 1938. There's Big Papi again. Of course, there's Teddy Ballgame for anybody wondering in his 1940 season or 1949 season. I'm sorry, with 43 home runs. So there you go. You can get more granular if you want. You could display the top 25, the top 50, the top 100. You could also sort by position in baseball. So maybe you want to do just say by position selection. Let's do shortstop. Okay. Hello, shortstop and select. Okay, so our position now is shortstop, and maybe we want to do stolen bases. And let's say minimum required is, I don't know, 35. And we're just going to encompass all years. And again, top 10, we're just going to do. Okay. And we're going to search stats. Now, I didn't clear search stats. This was a bug last time if you forgot to do that. Let's see if this will be okay this time. Yep, there you go. So now we're seeing stolen base leaders. And again, just displaying the top 10. Now, this is all of baseball history. This is no longer just the Boston Red Sox. And we can see that Maury Wills up here holding the top 2 spots in stolen bases in the season, both 1962 and 65. And then, of course, all the other, there's Campaneris, there's Jonathan Villar, Frank Tavares, his great 1976 season with the Bucks. So we could expand that out. We could have shown the top 100, what have you. So you can really, really, really get deep into this. All right, now let's go to the game itself. So for either $15, right, or $25, look at what you're getting in just the software already to accompany the game that you have, or pretty much any other game that's out there. You know, I mean, History Maker Baseball is a little bit different, but this could be used with anything. This could be your companion, okay? Because this also has a way in which you can input stats. All right. So Game Sim is the thing that I was talking about where the AI coach is sort of there. Okay. So you can select your visitors team. Again, these are from those teams that you created, that you pulled out of baseball history. I think eventually this will be like when you do the fantasy league setup. For right now, you can you set your line. You put in your lineups. Now you have your starting pitcher, whoever that's going to be. You'll select them. You have to create lineups. Don't despair, though, as we get into other game modes. You don't have to do this. You have to give them a game ID, of course. So relief pitcher. So for the first relief pitcher, you're going to enter these reasons. If the starting pitcher rating, so the starting pitcher will go down, whether his rating will go down due to runs given up or innings pitched. All right. And then for your second reliever, okay, you have 2 conditions for each, and you have 3 possible relief pitchers per game. Okay. So that's if you want to really kind of have a way where you don't have to make the decisions for both sides. You can set this up. I'd like to see this something sort of in game too. I mean, for those of you that roll cards and dice, I'm so used to digital baseball. I'm one of the rare people that got my start playing digital baseball and got into cards and dice baseball later. I'm used to managing against the computer. So sometimes, I find myself making little house rules. Well, as far as when to steal or what have you. This does kind of take care of that, as I'll show you in the game. Okay, that's Game Sim setup. All right. Box score replay we're going to save because I think this is super cool. So I'm going to save this for last. We're going to do a quick play. Quick play is really nice. We'll give this a game ID of 1. So what you can do here is, if you want to play the All-American Girls Professional Baseball League of 1950 against the Pittsburgh Pirates of 1970, you can do it. You can mix and match any two teams from history. Okay. Hey, Doug Hunt, welcome in, my friend. So Aaron and Doug joining us in live chat. So quick play is really nice. So it does what it says on the tin. Okay. All you basically do, we're going to leave both at Major League Baseball 1920 to 2023. We're going to pick a year. So maybe for the visitors, we'll pick 1968. And then we'll just pick the Tigers, the Detroit Tigers, right? Boop, there we go. And then for over here, maybe we'll pick the 1990 Reds again for Aaron, since he is here and was the first one in. So there we go. And then what you do is you click Add Teams. Do I want pitchers to hit? I do. But if you want to have a DH, you can. Just click No. But I do want them to hit. Okay, I'm going to select a starting pitcher. And, of course, it's going to be Denny McLain. And it's going to be Denny McLain. We're not going to play out this game. I just want to show you how easy this really is to set up. And it's going to be against, Jose Rijo. Click Enter. All right. Now, again, we get here to their traits as hitters and what have you. There's lineups. And then you can save these lineups to the Green Fox spreadsheet, which I've shown Green Fox, I think, on this channel. Maybe I haven't. I have to show you. It's a really cool way to also play some cards and dice baseball that's system agnostic. So if you don't want to do the digital diamond thing, Green Fox is an alternate, is a possibility, as is this. Okay. You can save your lineups out to an Excel spreadsheet if you have, and there are apps for Excel that allow you to play baseball. National Pastime Next Generation Plus is one of them. Unfortunately, Ron Bernier's excellent Ball Hall of Baseball is not around anymore, but you could do that. You could put these into digital diamond, these traits, if you want. You can save lineups to player cards, and you can save lineups to a score sheet, and you're off to the races. Okay, or you can play game day. We're not going to do. I do, because I just want to show you. We're not going to play the game, but I do. One thing I do miss is the little umpire coming up saying play ball, but that's okay. All right, here's the new interface. But what I want to show you here is just the score sheet. You don't even have to go that far. So this is the score sheet that it creates. And you can see all the ratings and everything. And if you want to just print this out, roll the dice, and pencil everything in, you are ready to go. A lot of the stuff is filled in for you. Now, if you're playing the game digitally, or you're rolling the dice and just inputting the play, this updates as you go along, which is real nice. Okay, but we're not going to play this game because I really want to show you some other cool things about it. And I figure this way we can play a few innings, and you can see how it plays. But nice, simple interface. You can't really, if you maximize it, nothing really happens. But I know this fix was supposed to also be helpful for people who had smaller laptop screens with lower resolution. So that's not me. I have a larger laptop and higher res. So whatever. And then we'll go over the interface here with the next module. Okay, and game day replay. Game day replay is you can load the game of your choice, select from one of your saved games and finish it, or to play movie greats, select no. And if I wanted to load a game, which I don't have any yet in this version, but I would just browse here and then click submit. So this saves after every batter, just like Action PC Baseball does. And you can always jump back in. Enough said about that. Let's close this. And now we're going to go to box score replay. This, to me, as far as playing the game, opens up. Oh, yours already crashed? Do you have the underbar 40, Doug? Make sure you have the underbar 40. Okay. Because I was watching some stuff. I was taking a break tonight practicing Magic, and was watching American Horror Story and decided, I'll just check my Facebook. And Craig sent me a private message, and then he also posted in the Facebook group that he had to do a hot fix. So I'll tell you what, though, as far as crashing, I've seen games that have been around forever that will crash. So I did play a couple games with the earlier update that was out today. It did crash once, but then it played a couple games just fine. So, again, this is software development's a tricky thing. Even website development. I do that, and sometimes when you have everything, you think you got your cascading style sheets all done, and you've got your Java or JavaScript running, and then you go to test the site, and everything goes kaboom. So, and I'm not saying this is you, Doug. You just got the update from Greg. I would just say this, guys: if you're going to stay away from games until they don't crash, then maybe digital gaming isn't going to be your thing. Is all I would say, and that's not meant disrespectfully at all. Okay, who knows? This may crash on me. I have no idea. It's been playing pretty well. All right, so what can you do? This is really, really, really cool. All right, let's say that you are 95% of the baseball gaming community and you want to do a season replay. Okay, so there's a couple ways you can do this. So we've been messing around 1990 enough. For Doug and me, we're gonna go to 2015. Okay, I'm just gonna stop right there, 2015. And if I want to replay the entire season, and I'm like, I don't know the name of that guy. Ken Castro told us about him, who literally has 1,000-page encyclopedia. This guy plays like thousands of games a year. Cards and dice, rolls them all up by hand. If you're one of those people, just leave it at 2015 or whatever year you want. Okay, load season schedule, and this is the entire 2015 schedule. And the reason I picked this is, of course, for the Pittsburgh Pirates. So it gives you, each game has its own ID, the date it was played, the teams, and the historical score. And then over here you see replay score. This is if you play the game and you save it. So there you go. Every game played in 2015 is here. And if we go all the way down here, you even have the World Series. Okay. So let's go back up. So you can choose to play the game that way. Or maybe you just want to play the Pittsburgh Pirates or whomever. I don't care. Kansas City Royals. I don't care. Whatever. We'll just do Pittsburgh Pirates, and we can just load their team schedule, or their season schedule. So there you go. If you just want to replay just a team, you can do it. It's right here. The other thing that I should show you, which is really cool, is this manual entry thing. Okay, so let's do Cincinnati Reds, Pittsburgh Pirates, and we'll do manual entry. So if you're playing with another system or whatever, and you can just input stats as you go, as you're rolling games. So again, it's right here. If you're a person that's like, I really, really don't like the digital thing, here's a way though where you can maybe save some paper, and then you can also then save all of these stats. You can do this. I didn't see yet today, so the Buccos won, huh? Nice. Yeah, so that hot fix was to fix that for bringing in relievers, Doug. I'll have to see how the Bucks did today. You said big win today. I'll have to check that out. So if you're playing Strat, you're playing Apple, you're playing History Maker Baseball, you're playing Status Pro, you're playing whatever, at least you can, it'd be nice. Yeah, maybe not. You don't feel like printing out paper, or if you're like me and you're a tree hugger and you just don't want to like print out stuff, man, then you can do it here. So, there into the top of the first. Yeah. Score is there. Nothing. Cincinnati Reds come up and they suck and they score. Right. And I can just keep putting these things in here. Okay, so I'm entering stats for, I get down here for the Cincinnati Reds, and just I can go on and on and on. Okay, I can input like this would be what Joey Votto would have done throughout the whole game. I can add batters. There's Joey Votto. Looks like he did nothing that day. I guess he walked or whatever. So you can do that. Okay. You can also import stats or games that you've done in Green Fox. Import from Green Fox right into here, and boom, guess what? It autofills. Pretty cool. Okay, we'll close that. Now, another thing that you can do here is if you just left click to select a game, it will play that game. However, if you control and left click, and this is just Windows, but let's say we want to play the Cincinnati Reds, so we'll select that. We want to also see the Pirates playing on the roads with the Cubs, and then the Diamondbacks. All right. So those three games I can actually choose to play, and these others will sim out. And then there's two ways to run a box score sim, and that's just a quick sim and then a detailed sim, which will save all stats and show you all the stats and everything like that. Okay, you can of course jump around if you want, and do whatever you want. Okay, let's go back to April. Back in the days when the season started in April and not in March. Okay. The only thing that's not included here is the All-Star game, but oh well. You got to leave something to Diamond Mine. Diamond Mine being the one that gives you all the All-Star games. We're going to close out of this though, because I'm going to show you what else you can do. Of course, you can select a previously played season. Now, since I already selected 2015, even though I haven't played that, I can select that. And I can load the saved season, and there it is. And you can continue with your replay. So that means you can have multiple projects going on. This, however, this is my favorite. I love this. This is called You Pick or We Pick. So you've seen now that you can load an entire season schedule, load an individual team schedule. You can save, as many. I could like go through and do 15 of these, and it will have them here. Why you'd want to do that, I don't know, but we all have multiple projects going. This last one's fun. You pick, we pick. So you pick a date in the game, or the AI coach picks his favorite date, and you pick the game. No stats. So these are quick print games, or what it calls. So when you click pick and print, okay, two ways you can do this. You can see what games were available on a certain month, day, or year, and then show available games. So let's say May 5th or May 5th. I don't know. Let's pick a year, 1967. Okay. Who was playing that day on May 5th, 1967? There we go. And again, so we got what? Indians, White Sox, Tigers, Orioles, blah, 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 whatever. Historical score. And right now, if I click print and play a game, I can select whatever I want, or I can have the AI coach pick the game. But maybe I don't want to do that. Maybe I want to go to this pick and print, and I want to let this coach pick from all of baseball, all of Major League Baseball. So if I click this, it's going to give me the games that were available on September 11th, 1957. If I don't feel like playing in 1957, I'm going to do this again. It's just going to keep randomly going to days in baseball history to give you games that you could play. So here we are in 1973 in May. Here's April of 73. There's July of 2005, May of 1990. There's May of 1950, June of 1956, what have you. Well, I don't want to pick the 1956 season. There's 1977. So let's say, okay, Red Sox Athletics. So the historical score was 8-7. This game took place on October 29th, 1977. Let's play this game. So we go to print play game. And yeah, I really, really love this game. Can you play postseason games? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. As Yoko comes in and says, "Here comes the sun." That counts. Yes, you can. You can play postseason games. Let me exit this and show you. Let's close this. So again, we had our 2015 season replay. So let's load it. And if I scroll I'll just click on October. Okay, and I go down here, right? Then I can there's all the championship series and World Series and everything like that. So yes, you can. Because I know you're doing 1980. So for Yoko, no, you're doing 2008. I'm sorry. I don't know why I was thinking that. But let's do 2008. And let's pick the Philadelphia Phillies. Or no, I just want to do, I actually don't want to do all that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cancel this, go back into this again to the box score replay, and let's do 2008 because I know Yoko's doing the 2008. I'm just going to load the season schedule. And there it is. It's ready to go. It is ready to go using as played lineups. And there we go. We go down to there's the World Series. You can see the WS, and there's Championship Series, Division Series. So if you wanted to auto sim Yoko, and by the way, I forgot to show that part. That's by selecting, that's a range of games. You just click one, shift. There we go. I can choose to run the box score sim on these games. I can do manual entries. I can print and play the games that are being shown. I can show, right? I can do all these things. Okay. So that answers the question about that. Okay. Close this. Let's do a pick and print so I can show you guys a little bit around the interface. 1982. Yuck. Ooh, 1918. Hey, there we go. That's a little better. Let's do the Athletics versus the Red Sox. So Red Sox won that game 4-3, and that was July 5th, 1918. Print play game. Okay. And I think these kinds of games are fun just for a one-off. And, you know, and a lot of other cards and dice baseball games, you can't really, unless you own all of the seasons, unless you're really super rich, or you know, you have one of these newer, the newer cards and dice games where you can get access to every season. This is just something really fun to do. Okay, so again, we can save these lineups to the Green Fox spreadsheet. Again, that's something really cool. I'll have to show you sometime. Save them to Excel. Play game day. This is the big one. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. All right, let's look around the interface. Now, this is going to be more for those of you who have had the game before. Those of you who are new to the game, right? Just pretend it's your first time, because your first time is always nice. So up the top, you have the name of the park, and for that year, whether it was a pitcher or hitter park or a neutral park. So what's important to remember is if you're playing in game day, let's say, where you can pick any two teams from baseball history, whoever the home team is, that's the rules that will apply. So if we were playing the 1978 Red Sox against the 1918 Philadelphia Athletics, you would be basically bringing the 78 Red Sox back into the dead ball era, or vice versa. Okay. This is the cards and dice game. It's not just based off of, it is. It's a digital, it's the digital version. So there's no, there's not like certain things in the cards and dice game that don't exist here. This is it. It's a good question, Yoko. Up here in options, guys, you can choose to, of course, you can load a game previously. So if the game would, you know, you decided you had to go somewhere or whatever. But here you can have normal advanced pitching. So I don't do warm-ups, but you can. But I'm just going to leave it on normal, and I'm going to play normal here for batting and fielding. Now, there is advanced, but let's talk about, so advanced pitching, if you click that, pitchers that are warm too little, less than 3 batters, or warm too much, more than 6 batters, will be penalized by a drop in level. Too little is they lose 1 off control, and too much, they lose off their pitcher rating. For batting and fielding, batters tend to hit the ball to their pull side if you're playing advanced. Switch hitters spray the ball evenly. Fielders must be positioned and may make ranged plays, and ranged plays are subject to defense penalty if speed, a runner's speed is less than an A rating. I just play normal. Okay. But again, whatever you want to play. All right. Of course, the names of the teams. And this is so nice to see. This wasn't around prior to today's update in Dead Ball era. Now they actually have the managers. It is so nice because when you were playing Dead Ball baseball, you didn't have any ratings or even the names. It was only for the 1920 through 2023. Okay, so we have Connie Mack, and you'll see that these ratings right now, there's a question mark for relief pitcher and pinch hitter here because you're not going to pinch hit or anything. We're at the top of the first inning. Now, you guys remember the big button that said manager's decision, which was down here? It's now the little question mark. When you click the question mark, there's the manager's decision, okay? Moving right along then, of course, this is your line score. Again, if you forget, this gives you the date and the unique identifier for the game. All right, it records outs here. If you were using the advanced pitching rule, this is where this would be where your guys would be warming up. Then down here, this is Bob Geary. This is his pitching card. So this is what, if you were to print out the card, these ratings are what you would see, except the only difference would be where you see a red dot up here representing the red die and the yellow representing the yellow, and so on and so forth. These categories here would be color coded, but no need to do that. Okay, continuing on the pitching side, we have our current pitcher. Here's all our fielders. Okay, again, their handedness, their defensive rating. You can have a quick look at everybody that way. And then there's your bullpen. Now, if you were playing a game, an actual box score replay game, you'll see up here there's a little kind of dotted line type thing going on here. Any names above the dotted line, so if you were playing a season replay as played lineups, if a pitcher was entered that game as a relief pitcher, you'd see that name or names, if it was multiple pitchers, above this dotted line. Below the dotted line in a box score replay would be anybody that didn't get in the game that day. That being said, even if you're doing a box score replay and you don't want to be slavishly devoted to how John McGraw or how Ed Barrow and Connie Mack managed the game or whatever, you're free to bring in whoever you want. Okay. So let's go back to our current pitcher. All right. Now, on the batting side, we can see here that here's Frank Truesdale is our on-deck hitter. Current hitter is Hall of Famer Harry Hooper. Again, you can see right field. He's a lefty, and here are his batting traits. And then we can here's his card. So you can see actually, so in game there are triples. There's just no triples in the stats thing. So if you play modern baseball, so I will correct myself earlier, if you play 1920 to 2023, triples are not their own thing. But if you play dead ball, they are. You can see Harry Hooper has 1 home run. Triples were the big hit of the day. So Kunis is only has played until you chose who to bring as pinch hitter. Yeah, so there you go. Hey, David, how you doing? Exactly. So, okay, all that was working great now, by the way. All right, I'm glad. So here's, and again, every batter's card is going to be different. Okay, we can go to our lineup. Again, look at our lineup, and there's Babe Ruth batting cleanup because he's not pitching today, I guess. I don't know who's pitching. I forgot to look. And then here's the bench. Again, if it was an as-played game, above the dotted straight lines would be anybody that was called in to pinch hit or what have you. But again, you're free to substitute whomever you want. Okay. Same thing up here. The question mark is going to be the manager's decision, and then go to bench. Down here, you've got your score sheet. This thing is already pre-filled, ready to go. Again, ratings, all that stuff is in here, ready to go. And this will update as you go along. You can go ahead and close it safely in game. All right, so let's show you how the game plays. Everything works like this. You read the dice from left to right, red, yellow, blue. That is it. There's no sort of checks. There's no the checks happen. You can see everything on the field. And if you're playing the physical game, again, the charts are very nice. You buy the mats, one for older baseball and one for baseball from 1920 to today. Everything is right there. You don't have to go through spiral bound notebooks, paging through charts or whatever. Everything is right there. And if you play the full game, if you play the physical game, it will take up probably about the amount of space that, I don't know, would be just like sort of a small desktop. It's a big baseball game that has a tiny footprint. It really does. Compared to Status Pro, the old Status program, which I love dearly, and thank God it's available on Digital Diamond Baseball. If you guys ever played Status Pro Baseball, you do remember that huge game board. It was large. All right, so Harry Hooper is up. So we're going to roll the die, and here's how it works. Always refer to the red die first. Just remember, read left to right, okay? So it's an 8. It's off the batter's card. So we go to the batter's card. We see that that's a yellow die. So we go to the batter's card. All right, so a batter card, if you forget, it's yellow. We go to 4, and we see that it's a fly ball to center. We don't even have to look at that third dice or that third die. So Harry Hooper starts off the game. We click here, select play. It's an out, fly ball, center field, enter play, 1 out recorded. And just to show you, I'm going to bring that up, and there it is. Right here, you can see F8. Okay. And this will keep up. You don't keep this open, because if you do, by the time you get to the bottom of the ninth or whatever, the end of the game, you're going to have 18 of these up here. So you don't need to just close it. It's still communicating with Adobe. Down here, click batter up. You'll see the absence of change sides. So that's automated now. You don't have to do that anymore, as you'll see. All right, so 1 out here for Frank Truesdale. Steps in on the right-hand side. Again, it's an 8. So we look on the pitcher's die always first, always red. We go to 8. We see it's off the batter's card, and that's a 12. Go to 12. That's a power check. So that's the blue die. We look, that's 9. We go to power, 9, and we have a double and 2 asterisks. Now, the asterisks don't mean anything when there's no runners on base. If there was a runner on base, then that runner would advance. The runner on base would advance 2 bases. So this is a double. So we're going to select this. And it doesn't matter. You can still just, I would say this, just to keep yourself in the habit, go ahead and just click whatever it says. So enter play. Now we're going to run her on second. Now we could, at this point, let's do batter up. We could hit our manager's decision just to see what Ed Barrow might want to do. Now he's calling for a stolen base here. But what's nice is I can click on this second baseman up here, and I clearly do not want to steal with this guy. So while the manager will make that suggestion, you don't have to. I like to do kind of little house rule things. I'm not going to run a runner that has a speed of D. He's only going to be safe in a roll of an 11 or 12. I'm not going to do that. The other thing that informs me of that is if I click on the catcher, so I can see here that Wiki McAvoy is rated as a C. So he's going to win this most of the time. And in fact, when the fielder's defensive rating is higher than the runner, then more often than not, that fielder is going to get the advantage of the roll. Okay, so it is situational. So do remember that. Okay, so here's Amos Strunk. We're going to roll him up here, and this is a 5. And this is off the left-right chart. So I go over the left-right chart here. I see, again, that's color-coded yellow, but I just look at 1. And this is a line out to second, double play. So it looks like they got this guy napping, right? So we're going to do this. And we're going to do a line out, double play. And this is going to go there. And it already defaults to first. Okay, looks like we didn't get the line up double play. So I guess he got back. All right. So we do batter up. And there he is, Babe Ruth. Babe Ruth. So again, looking here now, look at the triples. More triples. And Babe Ruth was fast, by the way. He was fast, but just 1 home run here. Okay. So roll it up here. And this is a 1, so we see that it's a control. It tells you right where to go. So I'm going to go to control. That's a 5. After a while, you're not even going to be looking at these. You'll be like, oh, 1 control, 5. And so Babe Ruth walks, enter plays. Walks are actually, they're not hits, but that's where they are. Okay, so 2 on and 2 down for the Red Sox here in the top of the first. And it brings up Stuffy McGinnis. Stuffy McGinnis, former member of the Philadelphia Athletics, $100,000 infield. That's a 7. Okay, so we go to the batter card, look at the 5. And now you see here, this says fly to right, tag a question mark. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay, so this is, you go fly ball, tag question mark, right field, select, enter play. And if there was only 1 out, it would have asked me, do I want the runner to tag and move to third? Okay, but as it is, that's the 3rd out. Sides are already changed, and we're ready to go. You don't have to click change sides anymore. The batter's up there for you. Home team's always in blue. The other team, the defense team, is like the players are orange or whatever, but it's also up here in red. Dan Burke, my favorite Irishman, is right here. Doug Hunt talking about that huge board in Status Pro Baseball. Yeah, it was. That's why it's so cool to now have it inside Digital Diamond. But to go off on a quick tangent really quickly, if you do have Digital Diamond and you have the physical Status Pro game as a version 12 of Digital Diamond, you can print your own. You can print your own Status Pro cards, and you're off to the races to play the physical game. And then put the results in this. See, so you're all set. Or back in Digital Diamond, however you want to do it. All right, let's do the bottom of the first inning. Again, we see Charlie Jameson. It's going to be Jameson, Kopp, and Acosta. All right. And Babe Ruth is pitching. How about that? All right. So let's see. So look here at Babe Ruth here. Look at it. Let's look at his card here for a minute. A lot of what Babe Ruth is going to be coming off his card or control. We'll look at the other pitcher when we go back again. So Babe Ruth's not going to be overpowering with strikeouts here. Some batters, some pitchers are going to see these first 3 slots are strikeouts. And then this control is a lot of strikeouts. All right. So again, everything comes off the red die first. All right. So it's an 8. So I get down to see what an 8 is. I see that's a batter's card, 8. Go to the batter, 8. And there's no need to tag. This is a fly ball right field. Okay. So I go just fly ball and right field and enter play. And again, we can look at our score sheet and see it's updating as we go along. I mean, again, unless you like to do things like do all that, you're a dyed-in-the-wool cards and dice player. Again, you could have just printed this thing out. It's nice to have these pre-filled and go, and you're off to the races, man. But I do like the fact here that we have everything auto-filling, okay? So, again, you can close this. Batter up, all right? So we have Merlin Kopp here. So, again, you can see how everything is different. You see here he has 2 triples, no home runs. You're not going to see a lot of home runs in this era. Click them. That's a 6. Now, this is on the left-right. So we go to a left-right. We go to a 10. And we see that that's a G5 plus or G5 asterisk. So again, because there's nobody on base, this is going to be a grounder to third. But if there was somebody on base, it'd be a grounder to third, and the runner would advance. Okay, so in this case, we just go to select play. Whoops. And just because I like to do it, I still am going to select the one with the asterisk just so that I get used to it. And then it's going to be a grounder from third to first. It's always going to default to first base as the second fielder. Sometimes, like if you have a 6-4-3 double play, 3-6-3, ground, most ground balls, right? You got to get the guy out at first. So you don't got to worry about that. So this is already at third. But if this had been a grounder to second, then I would just click second base or shortstop. You can see the outfielders here, left, center, right. Imagine the diamond. This is around the horn. Third, short, second, and first. And then your battery right there, pitcher and catcher. Enter the play. That play is entered 2 down. And here's Mento Acosta. All right. Roll them bones. And this is off the left, right. This is a 4 and fly ball to center field. So we just do fly ball, center field, enter play. And then you can say 3 outs, change sides, 1918 Red Sox, now up to bat. And again, looking at our sexy score sheet, you can see it did everything properly. I think one of the really nice features of this game for both digital players and for cards and dice players, I think these are really nice. Let me blow it up a little bit here for you. These are nice score sheets. Now, with the game, you have the other types of score sheets too. The ones that do it by inning. These are the at-bat style. These are the ones that the game uses, and that the digital game. But you can use any old score sheet that you want. As far as playing the cards and dice game, maybe that's the only difference that there is. Okay. So you guys, if you remember, substitutions sucked prior to today's update. They just were really, really, really weird. So, but if I want to go to my bench, and this is how easy it is to do it now. So if I wanted to pinch hit for Wally Shang, I would just select Wally Shang, pinch hit, select who I want, and click Make Changes. And the pinch hitter comes right in. Same with relief pitchers. If I go here, if I go to bullpen, okay, I just select the reliever that I want to enter the game and send them to the mound. That's it. So substitutions are really nice, and this will work with pinch runners as well. So Craig, this is really an excellent update. Thank you very much for putting it out. Looking forward down the road for things like league play and the schedule editor, like fantasy league play and schedule editor and stuff like that. Because while you can do that in here right now, it would be a lot of work. And if you have other games, then why create the fantasy league in something that isn't really built for it yet, but it will be. Let's just do another inning here or two and just have fun since people are kind of hanging out. Again, the print and play, guys, is $15.99. Physical game is $24.99. Either way, either one you buy, you get access to the software, free updates forever. What I like about the game, too, I've talked about before. We don't see it yet, but you'll see what they've done in previous at-bats. This is tracking what the pitcher's done so far. So Gary's just given up a hit, and he's walked one. Okay, let's roll the bones. And this is a 1. This is control 10. So I get down here, and this is going to be a walk. So you can see wild pitch or walk. Wild pitch it's not going to really make any difference. So we're going to just call this one a walk. So we just select the play. We go to hit and we go to walk, and there are more hit choices here now. There's like 2 base errors now, so there's some extras here. There's 4. So now there's 20 outcomes here just in hits. So pretty cool. Okay, so we got a runner on, and let's do batter up. And again, we could look at this guy's speed. He's a D, so I usually use my own judgment. I'm not going to run Wally Shang, but let's see what Ed Barrow would do. So, yeah, he's saying no. Now, we could try to bunt if we wanted, but we're just going to go ahead and swing away. Okay, so 5, we see LR, and left-right is a 10. We go down to the 10, and we see that this is a grounder to third with an asterisk. So we'll go to grounder to third, asterisk. So we'll go ground ball, asterisk. Fielder 1's third base, fielder 2's first base, enter play, and player moves to second on the play, batter up. 1 away for Sam Agnew. Here's the pitch. This is a 2, control 6, and this will walk. Ooh, he's having some trouble here, isn't he? Huh? All right, so we're going to walk him. Okay, 2-1, 1 out, and waiting on deck now, coming to bat here is Walter Barbary. Roll them up, and this is a 12 from the batter's card. So we go to batter. This is a 9, and this is a grounder to first with an asterisk. Okay, so I'm going to enter this. Ground ball, asterisk, to first, and it's unassisted, but the runners advance. 2 down, batter up. We're back at the top of the order. Harry Hooper, his last time up, flew out to center field, flew out to none other than Merito Acosta. All right. I should also point out that these defensive checks, these come in to defense checks or what have you. So we will see one. We're going to at least play this game until we see a defensive check, so you see how those work. Okay. All right. So here we go. Here's Hooper. All right. This is a 7 off his card. All right. So we see it's a batter. We go 5 in the batter card, and it's a fly out to right. That's all it is. Boom, boom, and enter play. 3 outs, change sides. The Athletics are up. We have no score here at Shibe Park, bottom of the 2nd inning. Okay. George Burns is up. Larry Gardner on deck. George waving to Gracie in the stands. It's a 6. And this is a left-right 8. Go to 8. And this is, again, ignore the asterisk when nobody's on base. This is just a grounder to third. So I'm going to select play. And this is a ground ball. And third's already selected by default. Third to first. Enter play. 1 down. Batter up. It will tell you also in your pitcher's fatigue. Yes, it will. In fact, we'll play this to an auto downgrades. I'm not going to worry about viewership, having fun. And hopefully people will get a really good sense of how awesome this is. Also, Craig Harris says he's going to be doing some upcoming videos on the Pocket Pennant Run YouTube channel. So he'll get into a lot more nuts and bolts that I'm not doing. I love this game. Sometimes I don't want to hassle with out of the park baseball or action PC or some of the other ones. Sometimes I just feel like doing this. And sometimes I will roll the physical dice and just input those plays and stuff like that. I do like to keep doing the batter up though, just so I can so it will keep track for me. I think another strong thing in this game's favor of the many strong things that it has going for it is the fact that you can use this software for just a research tool. You can use it to print up card sets, entire seasons. You can use it as a companion to just about to any board game out there, pretty much. You can play it rolling dice and doing all the other stuff by clicking around, or play the whole experience right in game and you have it. And over 316,000 players. What did we say? 190-some thousand played games with as played lineups, and it's insane value. It really is, and it plays a pretty good game of baseball. All right, here's Larry Gardner making his first appearance. Waiting on deck is Mickey McAvoy. All right, here is the wind and the pitch from Babe Ruth, and that is a 6. Left right is an 8, and that's a grounder to second base. So it's a G4. So if you're new to baseball, the only thing you have to know is what positions are 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. Other than that, piece of cake, baby, piece of cake. All right, 2-way batter up. I'm kind of glad that Craig didn't automate batter up, and I hope that he doesn't. Or if he does eventually do it, I would like to have it as an option. Over here, we have bunt plays, of course. You have a separate for, and it's very, very straightforward. So on the red die in a bunt chart, if I wanted to try to bunt with him, which I probably don't really want to try to bunt with Mickey McAvoy here. All right. So on a roll of 1, it's going to be a strikeout. So he's fouled off that third, right? Maybe count was 0-2, 1-2, 2-2, whatever. Okay. So he bunts it foul. He's out. Okay. Then these are going to be, say for rolls for 2 through 4 are going to be defense check on the pitcher. Rolls for 5 and 6, defense check on the catcher. Then you have rolls 7, 8, 9. These are going to be bunted back to the pitcher. This one, rolls 10 and 11 are going to be grounded in front of the catcher. And then on a roll of a 12 on the red die, he would actually get a bunt single. Makes sense. Separate chart for the squeeze, baby. So you can see here, this is indicating lead runners. Okay. So bunting, super, super easy. So I don't have anybody on, so I can't show you the hit and run yet or how that might work. Okay. You can change relief pitcher. You bring in. So Doug, let me put this up here. Says you can change the relief pitcher. You bring in fatigue innings, which is also cool. Absolutely. So that's another new update to this game. So as it says on the tin here, it's improving all the time. I love this game, man. You know what? Since Pocket Pennant Run 3 came out, not so much Pocket Pennant Run 2, which I still think is a good game, those of you that have it, and you don't want to upgrade or you don't want to buy the new version, Pocket Pennant Run 2 is a good, viable, fun baseball game. I think this adds so much more, though, when everything is right here. I probably have as much hours into this year now as I do with Out of the Park Baseball. All right. There's McAvoy, and that's an 11 on the batter's card, and an 8, and it's a ground ball, second base. And again, I could have just picked a regular ground ball. I don't want to get in the habit of hitting that. It's just the way my diseased mind thinks. 3 outs. There we go. Top of the third inning, we have no score, only 1 hit, and that was by the Boston Red Sox. And by the man that was up to bat here. So Frank Truesdale with the only hit in the game, and that was a double his last time up. All right, so Bob Geary ready to work. So the fatigue rules work like this in this game. If a pitcher gives up more than 4 runs, it's going to start dropping him down. Also, his fatigue rating is going to go by his fatigue number. Okay, so and this is going to go down every inning. So he's good for 5 more innings. Now, that's not, so think of it like this. It's not like, like when you play action PC baseball and you hit the expected pitch count, you see it in the red, it's like, oh my God, I got to yank my pitcher. It's not what that means. It just means that he's maybe reaching the end of it. But like today, Fergie Jenkins, I was playing the game. Fergie Jenkins had a no-hitter going into the 7th, and, we're going into the 8th, right? And he finally had given up 2 hits, no runs. He was throwing a 2-hitter. Now, there's some games that, right, it's going to drop that fatigue automatically. It will for him as well, but the manager said don't pull him. So you do have that. So those are the kinds of decisions it will make. So where Craig talked about on the website that the AI coach will make strategic decisions, it does. But again, don't expect it to be the same sort of thing that you would see happening when you're managing against games that have completely programmed artificial intelligences. Okay. But the game is smart enough to say, look, the guy is pitching a 2-hit shutout going into the 8th. I'm not going to pull him. And Fergie Jenkins ended up got in a little bit of trouble, actually, but did win the game 3-2. I was playing the 1969 Cardinals and Cubbies. It was a good game. Ended up 3-2. And the actual game, I forget what the actual game was for that day. It was using the box score replay. All right, here's Frank Truesdale. Can he get another hit? All right, that's a 6. Left, right, 1, and that's a liner to second. You can see the dash double play. So when you see that, then it's potential double play. That you caught this guy there. You had a guy on second, and stepped in. He was off second. Shortstop got to the bag, threw it to first. But right now, this is just a liner to second. Is all it is. Okay. So we'll just do line out. There we go. Line out and second base and enter play. Okay. Aaron says, yeah, no, you wouldn't. Yeah, it doesn't, Aaron. It doesn't even have there's not even a narrator. So yeah, this would not be one. And I don't know whether because there is no narration in this game at all. So yeah, this isn't even a question of accessibility. There's absolutely no narrator in this game. So yeah. But dude, at least you got a lot of baseball you can play with Action PC and baseball for Windows. So you're set up there. Hopefully, we talked about before the games like Out of the Park Baseball will work on accessibility, because you do have that 2D view in out of the park baseball. But again, we've had that conversation, and it is an important one. But yeah, Aaron, unfortunately, this is not one you would be able to play. I wish there was, but even if your software was reading all this stuff, it would be reading every result for all of these. Every result in the pitcher's card, every result in the batter's card would drive you up the wall. All right, let's hit batter up here. And we got Amos Strunk. Last time out, he lined to second. All right, so 1 out here, top of the third for the Red Sox. No score in the game. All right, so what do we have here? We have an 8 on the pitcher's card. All right, so we see for 8 from the pitcher's die, and that's a batter, 1, and this is a grounder to second. So getting a lot of plays out there, as you would expect here at second. So just do this and that, and boom. We will always default to first base. The only time you're going to see this change usually is if it's a defensive check or something like that. But it's usually always going to, on a ground ball, it's going to default right to the infielders there. If it's a fly out, it will just automatically choose left field, but you can always change that. Okay, so boom. And again, let's check in on the score sheet, which again is updating. And I love the fact that I can have Adobe, right? Adobe Acrobat closed, but yet it's updating us as soon as I open Adobe Acrobat, because it's saving the game after each at bat. It's also saving the score sheet after each at bat. So it's also going to be, it's also changing, like, what each pitcher has done. So everything is updated, and you could go back and you can save all your score sheets, what have you. And because it does save after each at bat, you could go back earlier and correct things. Other things you can do, of course, is reset your at bat as well. Go to batter up. Okay. And that's under options. If you screwed up, you can reset the at bat and do that again, or what have you. All right, here's Babe Ruth. He walked his last time up. All right, this is a 6, left, right, 10. And this is single, 2 asterisks, but there's nobody on base. But again, because your humble host is in Egypt, I'm still going to pick that. Okay, so Babe Ruth's on first. Now, Babe Ruth here again, probably not going to steal with him. So we'll just let him go. Batter up. But I'm curious. Let's see what's the AI manager say. Yeah, he's saying no also. Looks like Craig's improved this a little bit too, because I've seen where guys in this game had a speed of D and the manager was saying, yes, steal. Now, Ed Barrow is a little bit more conservative here. He's a C as far as calling stolen bases and stuff like that. He does like to bunt a lot, which we haven't. All right, we do have a runner on first. Now, although I'm not going to follow through with it, I'll show you the hit and run. So hit and run, basically, here we go. You can see here that Babe Ruth has his own, each hitter, when you're trying to do a hit and run, okay? Well, actually, we have Ruth on, or each runner, this is going to be his result. So on the blue die, and it will remind you here, this is blue die. All right, so Ruth is going to be, he's going to be out on a 1 through 8. He's going to be a safe 9, 10, and 11. There's going to be an error on a roll of 12. Okay, but you also have a hit and run chart, whether they have good jumps or bad jumps. So there's a separate on the red die for hit and run chart for a good jump, and then a separate chart for a poor jump. Only uses 2 of the dice, so pretty nice. So looking at what kind of jump that the runner has is going to result in all these things. So it takes all this into account. So again, a lot of stuff going on. I'm not going to hit and run with him, obviously. All right, here's Stuffy McGinnis, flew out to right his last time up, 2 away. This is 11 on the batter's card, and this is an 8. And it's just going to be a grounder to third. Even though there's an asterisk, it's the third out of the inning. So just grounder to third, and that will be it. And we will do third base to first, enter play, change sides. Moving right along. So pay attention here to Babe Ruth's numbers, because at some point what will happen is it will start dropping as he hits his fatigue rating. I mean, we've got a double Well, we have a shutout and we have something else going on here too. We'll just put it that way. But let's just say, for sake of argument, you have your pitcher up here. You can see right now on his card over here, this is what he starts out as a default. Now, as he drops grades, when you're playing the cards and dice game, and that's any cards and dice game, you've got to remember, oh, this pitcher, now I've got to remember he's downgraded. This does it automatically. So everything is going to move up. So if Babe Ruth would reach a fatigue rating or whatever, then you're going to see right now where we have on the red die, we have 3 controls. Everything's going to move up, and that's going to be just 2 controls. And it's going to be 2 strikeouts and a drop K. All right, so these 2 columns will change. It will automatically adjust. All right, here's Red Shannon. He's this is the first time up today, and for good reason, right? So Red Shannon, it's a 1, control 6, and oh, Babe Ruth walks him. All right. So obviously we've got to keep this game going for another reason now too. All right, batter up, and here's Joe Dugan. So Joe Dugan. Ooh, 12 off the batter's card, 8, and that's a fly to right tag. So we're going to do a fly ball tag, but it doesn't have the question mark, so it's not going to ask me. So I'm just going to do that, and it's just 1 out. Regular old fly ball, runner gets back to first is how you want to just think about that. Batter up here, we got Bob Gary. We got 1 out. We could bunt. Let's look at our bunt chart here. So, I don't know. Here, let's look at Gary. Oops. Let's try to get you there. Well, I'm not going to get you there, Bob. We got to look at Bob here and look at his ratings. Okay. So, he's not really a very good bunter. So, I'm not going to try to bunt the runner over. We're just going to swim away. Now we finally get a defense check. So, and I know that for 2 reasons. First, the way what we've been doing this, when I go to, I see the 4 on the red die, it says defense. And if I go to defense, I see that that number is 12 and it's center field. But the game also tells me that because it highlights the player. So I click the player. I see down here that the blue die says it's a 1. So I check here for Amos Strunk, who's a defensive rating. So he's gonna catch the ball pretty much, except for a roll of a 12 where he's going to commit an error. So he was an excellent center fielder. This is just a fly ball to center field. That's all it is. So we select our play, fly ball, center field. Again, imagining what the outfield looks like, and we click enter play. So just quickly now, 2 down, batter up, and it brings up Charlie Jameson. So we're back at the top of the order here now, and you can see his batting order, number 1. Right fielder, Charlie Jameson. All right, Charlie, the last time flew out to right. Here's the wind in the pitch. This is a control to 2, and struck him out. So we just select play, and strikeout is always the default out because that's, common, right? All right, so history continues here. So baseball, the greatest game of the world. Yes, it is, Aaron. Sounds like a good idea. If I could write to the person or company that makes it out of the park, perhaps they could try to make the thing more accessible. Absolutely. Doug Hudson's also Drop K. Yeah, Drop K is working awesome now. Chris Slovic joining us. Hey, Chris. Chris is doing he's doing a lot of other stuff as well, but I always concentrate on the baseball. His HA, Half-Ass Baseball League. Awesome stuff. Check it out. Chris, someday you're going to teach me how to get more than 70 teams into a out of the park tournament, I hope. All right. Here's Wally Shang. Walked his last time up. No score here at Shibe Park in Philadelphia. The Red Sox have managed 2 hits. All right, roll the dice. And we have a 2. This is a control, and it's a 9. And it's a walk. So we got a leadoff walk here. Remember, walks are listed under hits and under plays. So we got a runner on first. Batter up. Let's see what the manager says here. So the manager says, no, we're not going to steal. Let's just check with this guy. Nope, he's only going to be safe on an 11, and there's going to be an error on 12. So we're not going to steal him. He's a D, and Wiki McAvoy, the catcher's a C, so he's going to win that horse race. Does this have the dead ball rule? The ground rule double is a home run. So that that was kind of a sort of park to park thing. This does have ground rule doubles, and you'll see here, Chris, that it has, you can see like it has triples, and you will see ground rule doubles in this game. There's one. There's a ground rule double right there. But that wasn't what we think of as a ground rule double. So what Chris is talking about a lot of times is if the ball bounced over the fence in the dead ball era, that was a home run. But really in the dead ball era, it was most home runs, not all, because there were guys that could hit the ball hard, like Sam Crawford, Hannes Wagner, Gabby Cravath. Was really, you were tearing around the bases but the parks were so big. The parks were huge, with the exception really of Baker Bowl in those days. But you look at old fields, look at pictures, dimensions, go into your baseball encyclopedias or baseball reference and look at the dimensions of Huntington Avenue grounds, Exposition Park, and on and on and on. So it doesn't have that rule stated specifically, Chris, to answer your question more directly, but it is simulated in a way. Now, talking about, and let's stop here for a minute and talk about one of my big things is how well does a game play dead ball baseball out of the rip? I think that out of the park baseball, right out of the box, making no adjustments whatsoever, plays dead ball baseball perfectly. And I'm not talking about just lots of steals and stuff like that. The defensive strategies that it uses, it's not afraid to use run and hits, plays which are even riskier than hit and runs. It will steal. It will lay down sacrifice bunts. It will have your cleanup hitter trying to sacrifice a guy over. Out of the park does it really, it does it the best. Action PC does a pretty good job with dead ball baseball. With adjustments, it gets close to out of the park baseball. Baseball for Windows does it pretty well. This one, I don't think that I haven't run into a cards and dice game that I can say does dead ball baseball as well. But to be fair to all of these games, dead ball baseball is modern baseball like we understand it, but the tactics, the strategies were very, very different. So I think if you really wanted to get that kind of thing in a game like this, I think you would really have to almost rewrite two sets of rules, which they kind of do have here again. Let's see. Oh, Chris has shown me how to do this. He says, put a ton of teams in a park tournament, make a league of however many teams you want in the tournament, and set the number of regular season games to 0, then go to custom playoffs. Then in custom playoffs, then check every finishing position to make it. In custom playoffs, make the format as well. Hopefully I'll remember that. I hate going back on my own streams, Chris. So hopefully I'll remember how to do that. Because I definitely would love to do that. So I'll be messaging you again, and maybe have you copy that into a message in Facebook or something if you wouldn't mind. I didn't realize, so that's a nice little workaround, because I often wondered, Chris would have like 197 teams in a tournament. I'm like, but you can only have 70. How the hell is he doing this? So I thought he was doing something like just running 2 different tournaments and then kind of like creating a third at the end, but he that's not. I've watched enough of his broadcasts. It's like there's more than 70 teams here. So that's cool. So check in on Chris's channel and the crazy stuff he does. He's also doing something with football. All right. I'll read your comments, Chris, as we go along. Unfortunately, it's because I'm using this. I'm using StreamYard. If I was using OBS, which I don't use anymore, I could just copy and paste everything to a notepad. So save yourself some typing, my friend. But I really, really appreciate it. All right, runner on first. And here we go. We got Everett Scott. So grounded out third to first last time up. And this is an error check at first. Didn't even have to look. And as soon as you know there's an error check, guys, just look at the blue die. Click on the position player. Blue die of 5. And this is going to be a ground ball. And this is ground ball lead runner. Okay. So we're going to do select play. All right, and ground ball, lead runner, and what do we say? We can move this out of the way. This was first. So we can just go first base, leave first base selected, enter play. So better play 3-4. Do I want to use it? So there, I messed it up. It says 3-4. Do I want to use it? Yes. So there we go, fielder's choice. All right, batter up. Sam Agnew walked his last time up. Here's the wind and the pitch. And this is a 9 off the batter card. It's a 12. And that's a power check 3. We go to power, blue die. We look at 3, and this is a fly ball to left with a tag. So we would just go fly ball, tag, left, enter play. Runner doesn't advance, 2 down. Stepping in the box, Walter Barbary, last time up, grounded out 3 unassisted. Here's the wind in the pitch. And this one is a 6. So we see that's a left-right. We go to left-right 4. And this is going to be a ground short. We don't have to worry about this being a double play. So it's just a grounded short 2 and the inning. And that's it. And that is it for Pitt. And it automatically is changing sides now. The little baseball tells you who's up. All right. So Merlin Kopp is up and waiting on deck is Merlito Acosta. All right. Babe Ruth thus far through 3 innings of work has walked 1, struck out 1. It's the wind in the pitch, 10 off the batter's card. It's a 6, fly ball left field. So Babe Ruth thus far today is he's pitching a gem. He's pitching a gem. Being a master of understatement here. All right, here's Nito Acosta, fly to center last time. Here's the wind in the pitch. Again, 9 off the batter card. Batter card 8. And, oh, the no is broken up. I was hoping I would get a no-hitter. Babe Ruth, the no-hitter ends here with a single. So, again, we select it. And we go hit. And single with an asterisk is the default hit. And I just click enter play. All right, so we got a runner on first. And let's, again, I like to check in just to see. So he's a speed D, obviously. I don't even use the manager decision. If I see more safes than outs, I will steal with a runner because that's just what a manager would do, depending on the situation. But you're not going to steal with this guy who's only going to be safe on an 11 or there's an error committed on a roll of 12, right? You're not going to do it. Okay, so runner on first. So that's my thing now. In dead ball, if I wanted to, I should be doing a lot more bunts and hit and runs, but this is more for just showing the game. All right. This is a 1, control 12. Uh-oh. Hit by pitch. Babe Ruth, after giving up a single, now hits George Burns. So that puts 2 on now. So this is going to be, you go to other, and no, it's not other. By the way, you can, there are pickoff plays in this game too, which I know you haven't seen. So hit is a hit by pitch and enter play. 2 on, 1 out, and here comes Larry Gardner. Here's the pitch. Then it's a 9 off the batter's card. So, or 9. So 9 says it's batter card 7. And this is a grounder to first with an asterisk. So the runner's going to move up a base. So we just do green. We just do this. And what did we say this was? Grounder to first, I believe it was. You can always move the window aside and look again. Yep. So this is a grounder to first, and enter play. All right. Hitters move, or runners move up. Runners on second and third. 2 away. Chance here for Wiki McAvoy. His last time up, he grounded out to second. Here's the pitch. All right, so we roll an 8. We see it's a 10 off the batter. The batters die, and this is single. Runners advance a base, and now the shutout is gone too. We have a run on the board, so it's a single with an asterisk. So we just do hit, and it's already there. Boom, and a run scores. And the Athletics in the bottom of the 4th lead the Red Sox 1-0. Runners at first and third, 2 away. And Red Shannon in there now. Walked his last time up. Red Die says 8 off the batter's card is a 5. And this is going to be a fly to left tag question mark. So what you do with that, again, is you go to fly ball, see the question mark, left field, enter play. And if it would have been, again, less than 2 outs, I'm trying to get it to ask me that question, but it didn't. All right, so Philadelphia comes up with a hit. We go to the top of the 5th inning. The no-hitter broken up. The Athletics lead this one 1-0. Probably not any reason to play out the game anymore now that the no-no's gone. I was hoping. All right, we're back at the top of the order for the Red Sox. Harry Hooper, he's flown out to center and flown out to right. Here is the wind in the pitch from Bob Gary. Bob Gary thus far has walked 4, has yet to strike out a batter. Touched up right now for for 2 runs. Yeah. All right, so anyhow, we got a 12. So these high rolls, you'll notice, even though it says batter card, the game's nicely balanced. So we see here that that's a high roll, but that's a 4 here on that batter card. So if we get on here on a 4, that's a fly ball to center. Okay, but sometimes even a lower roll for a hitter is going to be a good thing, but not this time. It's going to be a fly to center. Okay, fly ball and center field, and boom. I think it's a little faster than writing everything in. Again, looking at our score sheet here to see how things are coming together, and it's real nice. We'll keep track of any sort of base advances, stuff like that. Does a nice job. You could almost frame it. So a lot of baseball you can play. How about it? All right, here's Frank Truesdale here. He's doubled and lined to second. Nobody on. 1 out, and we have a defense check. Again, 2 ways that I can do that. All right, if I look here, that's a 3. That's a defense check of 7. Well, if I go to the number 7, that's left field, but it also highlights. So I just look at that 7, and this is just a fly ball to left field. Okay. Fly ball, left field, 2 away, batter up. It won't let you accidentally miss your batter up either, which is cool. Now this is defense check on right. This is going to be a fly out. That's a 1. Yep, fly to right. That's going to end the inning. Game moves along quickly once you're used to it and you're not explaining things. Boom. And being excited about how to do new things in out of the park baseball. All right, here's Joe Dugan. Last time up, he flew to right. And the current batter's not yet hit. See, when I did batter up, it won't let me. I can't do anything. I've got to roll the dice. There we go. All right, so this is an 11 batter 6. And this one is a fly ball to left field. Fly, left field, enter play. 1 down. Again, man, for $15.99 or $24.99, either way, you get access to the software and you get the whole package and you get everything. Just monstrously awesome. Love it. Batter up. All right, here's Bob Gary. So Gary, he's reaching his fatigue. So you guys will see how that will work, I think, next inning. I think, what's his fatigue rating? I think is a 5. So. All right, let's go ahead and let him swing away. This is a 7, left, right, 1. And he lines this one to short. So line out, short, enter play. 2 down, back at the top of the order for Charlie Jameson. You can click on any of the dice. I'm just so used to clicking on the red one. That's a 2, control 2. That's a strikeout. So big swing and a miss. And there we go. So here we go. So watch Gary's, this will change. So he's become fatigued due to innings. He'll be reduced from pitcher C to pitcher D, control C to control D. So watch. Boom. Do you see how everything moved up a level? So you don't have to even remember. It's just there, and you can just keep playing the game. Babe Ruth up. Babe Ruth has walked and singled in this game. All right. There's a 10. On the batter card, 5, and this is a fly ball to right. Okay. Fly ball to right field, enter play. Now I could do batter up, and I could see, does Connie Mack want to stay with Bob Gary? He says no, or he said he doesn't want a relief pitcher, and we're also not going to intentionally walk Stuffy McGinnis. So he's gonna stay with Bob Gary. All right. So this is a 4, left, right, 8, and this one is grounded to second. Little 2 hopper to second base there. All right. Quickly 2 down here for Wally Shang. He has walked twice in this game. There's an 11 on the batter's card. 5. And fly ball going out to right field. This one will be routine. And that will retire the side. Score remains 1-0 in favor of the Philadelphia Athletics as we head into the bottom of the 6th inning. You'll see Babe Ruth's fatigue rating go down soon, too. All right. 12 on the batter card, or 12 on the, I keep calling batter card, on the dice. So we see that's a 12. And we go to 8 on the batter's dice, and this one's a grounder to second. It's a ground ball, and just select second to first, and there you go. So, yeah. Guys, this is Pocket Pennant Run Baseball. This is the Pocket Pennant Run Manager, which does all kinds of cool stuff. All right, we have a defense check here. So that's highlighted, and I know just as soon as I click on him, look at number 3, and this is a fly out to left. There you can see the F. So fly out to left field. Now, I mean, it begs the question for a lot of people. Well, if you're going to play this, why not just play out of the park baseball, or why not play action PC? I think what I like about this is not only do I think it's a really good cards and dice game, I think it's a nice kind of break, and it is sort of fun to be able to, as the guys, talk about the open engine, close engine. A lot of us have talked about through the years here playing in this wonderful hobby, is that you can, to be able to see these play results. It is kind of fun, and so I think that there's room enough to play it like this as I'm doing. It's just a digital game. I'm not rolling any die, any dice, or my cats aren't battling around or anything like that. But I am still, in a sense, getting a cards and dice experience. Maybe not the visceral feel or action, if you will, of throwing the dice, but I'm still getting that kind of nice ebb and flow of a cards and dice game without having to set up a damn thing, and I like that. Okay, and so I just screwed up there, so there we go. All right, so this is a 2, so this is control. So we're going to go to control 8, and Babe Ruth gives up the walk. Yeah, I mean, I've been talking a lot about the positives of this game, and it has many, 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 many. There are certain things that you probably won't be able to do in this. Certainly, you're not going to be able to have a narrator, and that's fine. I mean, that's not what this is meant to be. Would it be nice to have ballpark shapes like you have in say Diamond Line baseball? Yeah, but that, again, not a big deal. What I would like to see is the Craig, if he's not mentioned just, but if he would get rid of the batter up button, I would hope that he would keep this as an option. I like it. I don't want this to be automated. When I'm searching player stats outside the game, I would like to see triples listed for hitters. I don't know why they're not there. I find that curiously, it's missing. The game has been getting better. It's been getting stable. I would like it to a little bit more intelligently. If there's a way to do it, and I don't know, maybe that's not possible, because then that does kind of pull you more into the AI side of things. That let it go ahead, maybe let it, manager wants to roll for the visiting manager wants to roll for a steal or a run and hit and run, what have you, or squeeze. If that's possible, again, not a knock. These I should say more suggestions. My big knock in the game is why are there no triples for batters? But so much has been improved in this game now. So let's go to our bench. So this is a new addition, and kind of funny that I didn't even think about this. Prior to today, right, pinch running wasn't a thing. Now it is. You couldn't pinch run before, so now you can. So again, we have George Burns at first, which I'm not going to pinch run for him, but what I would do if I wanted to, and still showing him as the current batter, so don't let that freak you out, because I didn't do batter up yet. So just so we can, let's do batter up now. Okay, if I wanted to pinch run for him, right? So I would just go to my bench down here. Okay, so we see him. His ratings are too high. But if I could you have to select him, because again, you can have runners on any combination here. Boom, pinch run, then select who I want to pinch run for him. So maybe Tilly Walker, if I wanted to do this, I would select Tilly Walker and then click make changes, and now I've got a pinch runner. That's simple. Before it was you had to click this guy, then click that spot on the roster, and it had all these things. Are you going to substitute? Or pinch and substitute, and blah blah blah, and it was really kind of Byzantine. So Craig listened to the community and really streamlined substitutions in the game. So good job there too. I really don't have a lot of negative things to say about it. The price is right. The game plays really well. Put on some music, listen to a baseball game if it's baseball season, or you guys are multi-sports fans, unlike myself. You could be listening to football while playing a baseball game or something. But I find it very, very relaxing. I like the charm of it. It's kind of like a static micro league baseball for guys that have played micro league baseball, and that was the game that got me into baseball gaming. Digital baseball gaming was that. So I do like it. It's kind of like, I don't know, it's so old school looking and cool, and I like that. I love their logo, of course. I mean, I think the logo is great. The score sheet is awesome. This score sheet is amazing, and it does have a box score, of course, too. Digital box score. Would it be possible? I think it would be, to have it generate a PDF ongoing, or at least a text file that would have more of a newspaper looking box score, if that's an improvement down the road, but not until you do league, draft league play or anything like that, Craig. But if it's something you're thinking about down the road, it'd be nice to see a box score in a newspaper style. But if not, that's okay. I mean, I really even like just the sort of pixelated kind of look here. It's just cool. All right. So here we go. We got Larry Gardner. This is the 10 on the batter's card, 11. And this is a single, and the runners advance 2 bases. There we go. All right. So runners are first and third, 2 away. Philadelphia threatening here. Scored the only run in the game back in the 4th. Now we'll bring up Wiki McAvoy. So he grounded out to second his first time up and singled his last time up. Roof peers in, has the sign. Here's the wind and the pitch. And this is control 11. And this is going to be a wild pitch. It will be a wild pitch. Because, right, there's no intentional walk there. So I'm just going to call that one a wild pitch. And that's exactly what it will be. And that'll be an other. And that's a wild pitch. and enter play, and a run scores. So Philadelphia cushions its lead. Runner on second. Here's the pitch. Defense check at third base. That's going to be a 1. And what do we get? This is a ground ball double play asterisk. But we don't have to worry about that because there's 2 outs. So it's going to be an inning-ending grounder, 5-3. Right? Third base, first base, interplay. There we go. Red Sox now come up to bat. So watch again. Over here on the pitcher's card, here's Bob Geary. He's become fatigued due to innings. He's going to go from a pitcher D to a pitcher E and a control D to a control E. Watch over here. Watch. Everything's going to jump up a row. Watch. Boom. Done. Now, does Connie Mack want to go to his bullpen? He says yes. So we're going to go ahead and go to our bullpen. And so knowing these ratings right here, it looks like, so Lou Bauer is only good for an inning. Do I really want to do that? I don't know. 2-run lead. I don't want to go to the best out of there yet. So I'm going to kind of just muck about here a little bit. And in the dead ball area, you'd frequently see starting pitchers come in as relievers because there weren't that concept of relief pitcher, as you guys know, really wasn't a thing. Let's get somebody here that can eat up some innings here. We'll just bring in Von Gregg. Okay, now do I wish to change Von Gregg's fatigue rating? His current fatigue rating is 4. Now, I could change that. So let's say I'm looking, let's go to our bullpen, because this is one of the new features that you guys would want to see. So these numbers down here after their ratings is their fatigue rating. So I was looking at Lou Bauer, and I'm like, well, geez, he's an ADD1. So maybe I want to bring him in, send him to the mound. So maybe I could change his fatigue rating to, let's not be unfair. Let's say that he's going to be good for 2 innings. I can click OK, and he's going to be good for 2 innings now. And you'll be able to see here that his fatigue rating is a 2. Had I not changed that, that would be a 1. One of the things that about this game was it was hard to really work in middle relief in this one. So making some adjustments on the fly, you can be as fair as you want or not. Okay. Anyhow, here we go. Here's the pitch to Everett Scott. Might as well just finish this game out. Even just a few of you watching. We did peak out at 11. So thanks, guys. All right. So this is going to be a left-right 10. And we go that left-right 10, and we see that this is a grounder to third. So I hope, if anything, you guys see really how easy this game is to play. All right, here's Sam Agnew, flew out to left his last time up. This is going to be a 1, and this is one of those, we finally got to see one because both of those were controls, right? I think we only had one instance of this. So we see here, this is a 1 right there. That's like the terminal play. That's it. So you can kind of read these left to right too as where does the play happen that creates the out or the run, right? Or what have you. So in this case, what just creates the end result? Let's put it that way. It's a strikeout right there, and it's already selected. 2 down, batter up, and here's Walter Barbary. He grounded out 3 unassisted, and then grounded to short. Defense check to right field. This is going to be a 4. Fly out to right, and that will retire the side. If you guys have any questions about the game, I will try to answer them as best as I can. But do subscribe to the Pocket Pennant Run channel. As Craig, again, has promised, a lot of videos on the game and how to do certain things. It's just a lot to cover. All right, who do we have up here now? So we have Red Shannon. Here we go, 3. This is a control check, and this is a drop K. This was one that plagued the earliest version of this game. It would crash it out and crank it out. This is a drop K. There used to be a window that would pop up underneath, and you'd have to move this out and close it because it was trying to call out something. And drop K was one of the big sort of curly mustachioed black top hat villains of this game. Not a problem anymore. I'd like to hear in the comments or whatever, guys, for those of you watching later or now or whatever that have smaller laptops and you were having or high or really high res, and I'm thinking of Mike with his 4K monitor. If you were having trouble with things being cut off or whatever, if you found that that this is fixing things. I know that he was fixing for lower res monitors. I'm not sure about high res, but let me know in the comments how this patch has worked for you, and join the Pocket Pennant Run Discord. And they have a good support system that you would actually go to the Pocket Pennant Run website. But Craig and Matt working really hard. I think Craig is the principal programmer of this game. All right, Joe Dugan. There's a 9 batter card 4, and this one is a ground ball to short. So another question that, of course, comes to mind as I talk about Out of the Park Baseball being my favorite digital baseball sim, and it is. You know, it's beautiful to look at. Out of the Park Baseball has gotten so much better now at syncing, provided you set things up correctly. Syncing on-field action with the play-by-play. If you like to look at the play-by-play, I rarely look at it. It is an infinite baseball sandbox. So if just by looking, this game is about as far away as you can get from Out of the Park Baseball in terms of looks, right? You know, Out of the Park Baseball, Kate Beckinsale, this is like, yeah, this woman down the street. But under the hood and what both games offer, this thing is excellent. And it's on its way to becoming another infinite baseball playground later on. And again, I do hasten to remind you, Craig hasn't said when league fantasy leagues and schedule generation and stuff like that is going to come. But for right now, what you can do, the game itself, now you're seeing just how the game plays, whether you're playing with cards and dice or you're playing it this way, the immense databases, what's available, what you can do. It's I would say even more than Digital Diamond Baseball. I would say this is an even better deal than Digital Diamond Baseball, and that's saying a lot because I think that was really kind of the best value. There's more similarities, I think, between this and Digital Diamond. Digital Diamond does have a play-by-play, which you can edit. You can do the actual. There's more eye candy going in. Both of them have excellent baseball engines. A lot of guys are using Digital Diamond Baseball just to use as a as a companion to the board games they're playing. But don't forget, Digital Diamond has an excellent baseball engine built into it, along with having Status Pro Baseball, everything else. I like the baseball engine for this. No frills, no craziness. I don't have to do this check, that check. I'm not convinced that those make a game any more enjoyable. And at the end of the day, a lot of times I just want to play a game of baseball, but I don't want, I just something quiet, something chill. But I'm finding myself playing this as much as Out of the Park Baseball. And that's the highest praise I can give this thing. And for the price, guys, come on. $15, you can't, $15.99, you can't beat it, because you get if you buy just the print and play, the PDF version, you still get access to this. They could have made it that you only got access to this if you bought the physical game at $24.99, but they didn't. So you have access to this. I mean, it's kind of a no-brainer. It really, really is. This is not going to break the bank by any means. All right, here is Lou Bauer. So we're going to go ahead and now we'll let Lou Bauer hit here. So 12, batter card 9 or batter dice 9. And this is going to be grounded to first, and he will take that one unassisted. So again, how you do those is your fielder 1 is your first baseman, fielders 2 is second, enter play. And again, if we look at the score sheet, you will see that down here, 3 unassisted, 3U. So there it is. So remember, at the beginning of this game, this was empty, and so it's filling this in as we go along. And then, of course, you can print it and do whatever kind of crazy stuff you want to do. All right. So Harry Hooper back at the top of the order. Hooper's fly to center, fly to right, and fly to center again. Harry Hooper would like to get a safe hit. Doesn't look like it's going to happen this time. This is a 2 off the left, right, and he grounds this one to first. So it's a plain old vanilla ground ball. 3 unassisted, 1 down. Batter up. Frank Truesdale, who at one point had the game's only hit, flew to left his last time up. And we see here this is a left, right, 8. And this one's grounded to second. I haven't tried this playing 19th century baseball yet. I think that would be kind of interesting to have a look at that some night. All right, here's Amos Strunk. Flew to right. Defense check on second baseman. I'm going to be looking right at 9, and I see that this is a single. So hits can happen, and he's not charged with an error. It's just the ball got into the webbing or whatever, you know, or short hopped him. So it's just a single. Oop, there we go. Runner on first. Let's see. What does the manager say? Does the manager want to steal? He wants to steal, but I'm going to look. So he's a B. And now, so let's try stolen base just for giggles. All right, so we're going to steal. It will say, are you sure you want Amos Strunk B to steal second base against Wiki McAvoy C? I'm going to say yes. And he is out of there. So it's going to happen. I mean, Ty Cobb and Billy Hamilton and Lou Brock and Ricky Henderson they weren't successful every time. So 2-0 Philadelphia as we head to the top of the 8th, and the Red Sox will send up Amos Strunk here to lead things off. Oops, I haven't completed 3 outs. Let me not advance the batter. Sorry about that. Okay, so there we go. All right, so this is a 4 control. 7 is a walk. Wow. All right. Current batter is the same as last batter. Oops, sorry about that. Completed 3 outs. Okay, now I might have run into something a little bit weird here. 3 outs, change sides. Okay, there's no player. All right, now let's see. Did it change sides? Yes. Okay, looks like we have hit maybe a weird little bug here. Yeah. So let me see if this will let me record the strikeout. Yeah, the current batter is the same as the last batter. So it looks like we ran into a little bit of a weird issue here. This is where an emergency change sides would be nice. So Craig, here's a bug. So we've run into a bug, and at this point, we could go ahead and go back to the game. What I'm going to do is we're going to reset the at-bat. Yep, we're going to reset the at-bat, and let's see if that works. All right, there we go. So this time the dice did roll. This is 1, control 4, and that's a walk. Should work this time. 3 outs, change sides. Okay. Babe Ruth has become fatigued, so I think it got a little bit control, but now we're back in. We're okay. We're good. So we were 3 outs anyhow. No harm, no foul. So it is a little bug, but the way out of it is just reset the at-bat, and you're okay. All right. Of course, we're not going to pull Babe Ruth, but what would Ed Barrow say? Does he want a reliever? He says, no, I don't want a reliever. I mean, you know, Babe Ruth's only given up 3 hits. All right, here we go. Here's an 11, batter 11, and this is a single. So base hit. And if you were playing advanced, you would see where the ball, like, you know, was it base hit to right or whatever. I don't really care about that myself. So to me, it's just a base hit. If I cared about that, I'd be playing Action PC or Out of the Park or any of the other games. It's just a base hit, and that's fine. If you do select Advanced, I'll show you what Advanced looks like for batting and fielding, just so you can see. Now, everything is zoned up here, Okay. So everything is a little bit different. So where fielders can make range plays, and you can see now there's a bit of a difference going on in the game. This would be for another video. So the game does change up a bit and gets more, maybe more sink your teeth into type thing. Easy to turn that back off, of course. Just go back to normal and enter settings. And there we go. Everybody's playing up straight away again. Here's the pitch. And this was a 9-batter 3. And this is going to be a grounder to third double play. So it looks like we've got a 5-4-3 double play. We can finally show you how to do a double play. So this is going to be double play. It did have an asterisk. So we're going to do the 5, 4, and 3 is already selected. And Roman Cobb tries to beat the throw because we had that asterisk, so he is out. So 2 down, batter up, and here's Acosta. He's flown to center, singled, and flown to left. All right, defense checking the center fielder. That's a 2. Most assuredly is going to be a flyout. It will fly to center to end the inning. And there we go. 3 outs. There we go. We go to the top of the 9th. Last chance for the Boston Red Sox to close up the gap here. And Lou Bauer, let's see. Lou Bauer. Are we going to keep Lou Bauer in there? What does Connie Mack say? He says, let him go. And Babe Ruth, of course, we're going to let him pitch or let him hit. Here we go. So he struck out. He struck out. 1 away. All right, Lou Bauer now is fatigued. So again, this is going to, see this K and this K, this is going to change to the control and drop K. There it is, or control and K, I should say. So we're going to let him, let's see what Connie Mack wants to do. Connie Mack wants a relief pitcher. So we'll go to our bullpen. You don't have to do this, of course. If you want to go ahead and stick with him, you can. And there's really not a lot to work with here. I guess we'll bring in Scott Perry, send him to the mound. I'm not going to adjust his fatigue ratings. I think that would be cheating. We are in the 9th. Okay. So here we go. Facing Stuffy McGinnis. He has flown out and grounded out twice in this contest. And this is an 8. And the batter die says it's a left-right 3. So this one's a grounder to third. 2 away. And Wally Shang, last chance here for these Red Sox. This is a 3. Batter die says it's control 8. And a control 8 is a walk, so they're not giving up just yet. Not giving up just yet. Okay. Runner on first. And we're not going to even try a steal. Here's Everett Scott. Now there's the defensive check on the catcher. That's a 7. And he grounds it, so this is going to be 2-3, and that will end the game. So we just do this. Select play, ground ball. Fielder 1 is the catcher. And you can make fielder 2 whatever you want. I'll just leave it at first base. That's fine. Game is over. Philadelphia wins 2-0. There's your box score. You can close. It will ask if you want to save to the box score replay. So again, if you were doing if you wanted to play the box score replay again, or if you were doing a season replay in 1918, you would click yes. I'm just going to click no. And it comes up with the final score sheet, and that is it. And then it goes back to whatever. So let's see. The Red Sox won that game historically 4-3. So the Athletics win this one 2-0. And that does it. That does it. That does it. That does it. So thanks, guys, for coming again. And we peaked out at 11. And I hope other people will find this and learn a little bit about pocket pennant run baseball. Again, it's oh my God, let me bring up the website again because I don't want to. I think I've been misquoting the prices all night, and I don't want to do that. And again, we'll just go over its feature set really quickly. All right, let's give you a little blurb. This is for everybody. Welcome to the world of Pocket Pennant Run. Using just a few simple charts and an intuitive multi-point player rating system, teams and players from yesterday and today come to life, performing just like their real-life counterparts. Pocket Pennant Run is simple enough to be learned in minutes, yet steeped in enough strategy and realism to appease even the most experienced tabletop gamers. Included with the game is the PPR Manager software, the most robust tabletop baseball companion software ever created. That I agree with. With a database of over 316,000 players and nearly 200,000 as-played lineups, you can print out pre-filled scorecards, generate custom roster cards, simulate seasons, and so much more. And if we look again at the pricing, for the base game for the physical set, just if you want to get the physical game, which it take 2 decks poker-sized cards and place them laterally, so perpendicular to your fingers. Place 2 of those in your hand, and you will see that's the size of the physical game in the box. So it literally does fit in the palm of your hand. So the base game is $24.99 for the physical game. And then you can see the dice and the cards. Everything is to scale. This is the size of the box it comes in. That is it. And then, of course, if you want, you can get these mats, one for dead ball, one for modern dead ball, of course, also encompassing 19th century. The rule book is right there. You get it after purchase. The rule book literally is like 2 pages, 3 pages. It's super intuitive. However, if you just want to get the print and play, maybe because you have your own dice and stuff, well, that's cool too. $14.99, and you still get access to the Pocket Pennant Run software. So you still get access to this for $15. I've been saying $15.99. So for $15, you get access to everything that this does. Free updates for as long as they're going to be making the game. And I hope they keep making the game for a long, long time. It's improving with each. And again, here's there's 2 guys developing this thing. One's a musician, one's a computer programmer. And Craig put out this full update today. If you do get it, if you're an existing owner of the game, there's no patch. Just submit your email to the site to get the full. You have to do a full install, which doesn't take long at all. So $15. Look what you can do for $15. It's amazing. But you know what? Support these guys. Extra $10, pick up the physical game, take it with you on the road. You can print up some cards, do whatever. That concludes this rather long presentation of Pocket Pennant Run Baseball on a Sunday night here, and we are done. Thank you to, again, we peaked out at 11, but for the guys that came in the chat and said hello, I want to thank good buddy Christopher Slovic, who just took me to school here at Allen Park Baseball, and I have to get with him to make sure I'm doing that right. Doug Hunt, fellow Bucko fan, was in here. Aaron Reed, stalwart of the channel and of the community, was here. Dan Burke, my favorite Irishman, hung out for a little while. Scooney 007, also known as Yoko, was with us tonight. Thanks a lot, buddy, for coming in. Big Phillies fan there. He is. Phillies are playing some pretty good baseball. Aaron Reed, Doug Hunt were the first 2 in the ballpark tonight. So, guys, until the next time we meet, I hope you guys have some fun, play some baseball, and check out everybody's channels, and also join our Discords, the Ned McGreevy Discord, and also the Fields of Dreams Discord. All right, guys, see you around the batting cage. Good night.